Okay, since we're actually in a PvE area, you might have to adjust your stuff once you go into World. So for now, just open your hero panel. It's H. Oh wait, hold on. Who did we lose? Come back, friend. Okay, so for your hero panel, open H, go to your build, and then so just if you don't have what I'm the stuff I'm gonna name, if you don't have it, you're gonna have to adjust it. So just go along with me here. For your first stat, it's gonna be honor. Honor 1, 2, 3. Second stat will be virtues 2, 2, 3. And the last one is Firebrand 3, 3, 3. Also, everything I'm gonna say here, it's purely for World. I don't do PvP, I don't do PvE builds. So everything I'm saying here is purely for Zerg fights and for smaller group fights. That's it. If you want PvE or PvP, you're gonna have to look on Meta Battle or somewhere else. We don't have it. Yeah, no problem. First is honor. No, I'll actually type it. Also, if you haven't taken a look on our Discord build yet, it's right there. It's the same. So what I'm gonna explain is pretty much the same. It's just that more. It's just more comprehensive, I guess. Those are pretty much just short stuff. But the build is exactly the same. It's just the explanations that I'm gonna give it more comprehensive. Okay, so for your gear, your armor, weapons, your accessories, everything is full minstrel. Just because Firebrand is the most, how do I say, the best at sustain right now. So right now in the game, World is best sustain you can get. It's Firebrand. So to get the maximum amount of sustain from this class, you need to have full minstrel. So work on that. You can get ascended if you can afford it. You have to craft it. Otherwise, if you have other different stat armor, heavy armor that you wanna just change the stat, you can do it on Mystic Forge. That's actually cheaper if you want to do that. Crafting can be a bit expensive, but if you got the gold, go for it. If not, exotic also works fine as long as you have the proper stat. Exotic or ascended works fine. As for exotic, you can get it through the reward track. We have a guide on the reward track, so you can take a look at which reward track to work. Triumphant is the easiest one to get, so you just have to complete it 6 times to get the 6 pieces of armor. As for the runes, your primary rune is going to be Monk. This is the best rune you can get. But Monk is locked behind a dungeon, so you have to do Escalonian Catacombs. Either you do the dungeon, or if you have the story mode unlocked, you can also work on the reward track. Reward track also, it's pretty easy. You just have to complete once, and you have enough tokens to buy the whole 6 runes. Set. What's going on, Johan? It doesn't even matter. Okay, so that's the rune you should be getting. But if you don't have the dungeon tokens, it's fine. There's a very good dub for the monk rune. It's Super Rune of Water. Just gonna link it to you. Water is right now the price is 2 gold and 40 silvers. You can buy this on TP. This is also very good for as a sub for Firebrand. So either get get water or or get monk. But if you can get monk, then go for monk because that's the best one you can get. Don't. I know there are a couple of other runes that looks nice, but no, don't do it. either get monk or stop it with water, but that's it. No, nothing else. Because I did try other runes, it's not as good. As for weapons, your main, your first hand weapon is going to be staff. Your second hand weapon is going to be mace and shield. You don't need anything else. You don't need a hammer, you don't need a greatsword, and you especially do not need an axe. Some people use axe shield, but axe is more oriented toward DPS than sustain. So just get mace shield because it gives you more, gives you protection ninjas, it gives you heals. So it's staff, mace, shield. For your sigil for the weapon, hold on. TP again. So far A, good. Let's see how many A plus. Okay, so for as for your sigils, you need transference on each set of weapon. So one transference on staff and one transference on either your mace or shield. That you absolutely need. And the second sigil, it's an option. You can either have energy or you can have concentration. The difference is that I highly suggest energy because sometimes that extra dodge will help you stay alive. So if you stay alive longer, then you can sustain longer. That's like, especially if you're new to Firebrand or you're not very experienced at it, then get Sigil of Energy. That's gonna help you live. But if you think you're experienced enough, you don't need that extra dodge, then you can go for concentration. Concentration is very good for boon duration. So transference and energy, or transference and concentration. Yeah, like I personally suggest get the Sigil of Energy, especially if you're new to Firebrand. Yeah, like more experienced Firebrands. Some Firebrands just have as concentration and transference, which is fine.
This job is so rewarding. I love my work.
But don't go for any other. There's like Sigil of Water and stuff. Just no. So the only option is energy, concentration, and transference. That's it. You don't touch other stuff. Do we have any questions so far? No? Okay. If you have any questions, just feel free to stop me. Okay, so now I'm gonna go into skill order. Okay, so I don't know how if most of you have hotkeys or not. So I'm just gonna use it. I'm just gonna go with the default setting as like 6 for healing, 7, 8, 9, and then 8 is 0. Okay, then we'll swap map then. Gee. Come to swap map, guys.
I don't have the option to switch yet.
Really? Oh.
Nope. I also can't switch to you in the UI either.
Well, I mean, it's okay, I guess, because since I'm around voice. But if anything, just type it on squad. It's not like we need to be in the same lab anyway. That's weird, ain't it? Okay, so for the heals I'm gonna give you. I mean, the skills. The skills I'm gonna give you, there are 4 of them you absolutely must have all the time, and then there's one that is an option that you can swap, and I will tell you which one that is. So for your healing, your healing skill is always this mantra. Like right next to your healing is the mantra of lore. This is also the heal and cleanse. The utility slot next to that, I'm gonna leave it open for now, and I will come back to it after. Next to that, for example, skill 9, you should have stand your ground, and for your elite, you should have also. Okay, now for that slot that I open, I want everybody on both truth as default. This is the skill you should have as default. But depending on the situation, sometimes you will need Merciful Intervention or Wall of Reflect. Wall of Reflect, I usually ask if we need more reflect. Reflect, then I do ask for swap. You guys know that, so otherwise just don't swap it. Keep both truth as your default. Or if you see your party members going down often and they need that quick res, then you get Merciful Intervention. That's fine too. So basically, just sometimes if the commander doesn't ask you, you have to make your own judgment and you have to swap the skill. But that's the only slot where you can swap the skills. Rest of the skills you have to keep them because they go with the rotation that I'm going to show you.
So many papers to file.
Choice.
It's a busy job.
Freedom. Liberation.
It's okay, Bagel. We're fine this way. Okay. Okay. So for the mantras, it's very important that you charge your mantras before you get into any fight. Very, very important, because each mantra has this 2.5 seconds of recharge time. So if you add that up, you're gonna be charging for 7.5 seconds of just standing there and charging your mantras inside a fight, which will get you killed. So please, always have your mantras charged. As soon as you load into a map, first thing you do is charge your mantras. Yeah, like as much as you do it, it's like it's a force of habit. So at some point, you're not even gonna realize you're doing it. You're just gonna be charging a mantras as a habit. Having kids. Also note that if you go underwater and if you don't have the same skill sets in water and on land, your mantras will go on cooldown. So you have to charge it again. When you get out of water, you have to charge it again. But to avoid that, just have the same skills in water and land. You can adjust that later. That way, your mantras are not gonna go off on CD. Yeah, I just get on a map and I just I don't even do it on purpose. My fingers just click on those mantras and then that's it. It will become like it's gonna be a habit. You won't even think about it at some point. So, but it is very important that you have your mantras charged at all times, especially before a fight. You have to have it. Another important note on the mantras is that usually, maybe I should be on the same map. Oh shit. Yeah, I should be on the same map. Let me try to leave and come back. Because this one I need to show you guys the as usual thing.
Also remember, you can change your water skills anytime you want now. You don't actually have to be in water.
What do you mean? Like, when you're on land, you can change it?
Yeah, if you go into build, there's a aquatic tab now right under where it says terrestrial. Lets you change your water utilities.
Oh! Yeah, I didn't notice that. Woo! Internet is getting advanced. Okay. Improvement, guys. So yeah, actually do that. That's a very good point. So just set your skills to be the same. Same order too? Oh no, now I'm in a guild hall alone.
Well, it just gave me the map is closing message too, so.
Oh, wait. I think people are getting in. Come in, guys.
Choice, freedom, liberation, restore.
Max, you didn't get the prompt? Lovie? Oh, Max. Oh, no, Max is here now. Okay. Looks like we're all here.
Restore. Cleanse. Believe. Return.
Okay, so, just give me some room here. Show you guys.
Freedom. Liberation.
For your mantras, if you click on a charge, like this,
Restore.
it goes on a cone in front of you. So that's meaning the people behind you are not gonna get the boons, but there's a small radius of a ring radius also. So that's why it's very important that people stick very tight to their firebrand. That way, you don't have to like just pull your hair thinking, oh shit, I have to be facing my target. I have to be like they have to be in front of me, or you have to be in the back. No, it's okay. As long as people stack tight on tag, you don't need to worry about the cone in front. But if you see party members just wandering around or just off the stack for a bit, then you're gonna have to be facing them. Otherwise, they're not gonna get it. The cone radius, it's a bit bigger than the ring radius, so that's why it's very important for people to stick to tag. The tighter, it's not for nothing we say that the tighter the squad is, the better the sustain. It's because of that. So that way people get the wounds and the heals they need. So always stay on tag. If you see somebody scrolling, just don't follow it. It's not your job to. I mean, it's your responsibility to kind of sustain, but you're not gonna be just following around trying to save someone who doesn't want to stay on tag. So if you see someone just wandering off, then don't run after them. Just stay on tag. It's their job to stay on tag. Okay. As for Wall of Reflect, if you notice that there's a lot of range going on, you can just swap out Bow of Truth. You put Wall of Reflect, then you just drop the wall where you need, the direction you need it. So that's up to you. So like I said, sometimes you have to use your own judgment, so use it when you need it. And as for Bow of Truth is very good heal skill. For when I ask for like full sustain, sometimes we have to go for full sustain. Just drop it on top of us. It's a lot of heal, so just spam that. It's okay. Sometimes we're like just tanking through some sieges because we want to open SMCC gate or something, and there's they have ACs. It's hot, so you can drop Bow of Truth right on top. You can choose where you want to drop your bow. So it has a very long range also. So just drop it where you need, or drop it on top of us. We will get the heal. If you're running away from something, we're trying to just pull away from an enemy or a group. Drop it behind you. Just drop it. Actually, you can drop it on top of you, or you can just drop it behind you. So the people behind, they will get the heals when they move, when they're on the move. And if we're gonna engage a fight, then you can actually drop it right in front of us. So that way, when people cross it, they get the heals also. So just use it depending on the situation. If you're running away, you drop it behind you. If we're gonna push, you can drop it in front of you. So that's the default utility I want everybody to have, and the other two you just swap it depending. So wait, was it Pastry who messed up all the Gil Hall instance? Wait, hold on. Get him in. I think he's in, no? Pastry, hi.
Hey.
Okay, we already started.
Freedom.
We're on.
Liberation.
I'm gonna go for rotation now, but if you want the earlier stuff, I can repeat it for you later. It's not a problem. Is there croissant till me? Yes, that's actually my original one. Mini croissant. The mini croissant is actually the original that I started commenting on, but that was a long time ago. He's dead now. I gave the name to somebody and then he quit the game, so I lost my name. Woo! But anyway, it's not important. And let's get back to so back to Firebrand. Okay, now so I'm gonna go into rotation now. Oh shit! Somebody knows. Yeah, it's me. It's me, and I'm that awesome. Famous or anything, I don't know. Okay, so I'm gonna go into rotation now. It's gonna sound like it's a lot, but once you get used to it, it's gonna be just a force of habit. You're gonna be able to do it without thinking. So try to follow as much as you can. If you have any questions, let me know. If you want some written, I can type it also after that. So it's not a problem. Just let me know. Okay, so it's very important that we have stability on you before we start, before we engage in combat. So you have to have stab on you at all times before you engage. Otherwise, you can get stun locked, and once you get stun locked, it's very hard. You can get bombed because you're not going to be able to move. So if we're gonna engage a fight, then the first skill you should pop is stand your ground. Always start with stand your ground. But in case that we get stealth bombed or you got into combat before you were ready and you're stun locked, the best way to get out of stun is also to click stand your ground. If you don't have stand your ground available, it's on CD or for whatever reason it is, you can also click one of your elite mantra charges. So just pop it once, and it will break you out of stun. After that, stand your ground and open book 3.
Stand your ground.
That's your courage.
History is mine.
So that basically the order is stand your ground, and then right away you use your book of courage, book 3. And once you're on book 3, the skills order are the following: skill 5 and 4 right away. So that way you have the protection, the aegis, and the stab you need for the push. So you have to spam that right away as we're moving in. Don't wait till we're right on top of the enemy. You have to give your party the boons before we're on top of them. So go with 5-4, and then if you need reflect, skill 3, it's a reflect. You can often it's more useful to drop it on top of you, or sometimes you can drop it in between you and the enemy. For example, you see that heart marker behind me? Let's say that's a ranger. That person is pew-pewing me. You want to drop reflect in between? Yeah, just drop it in between you and the ranger, and they're gonna just kill themselves. But often in fight, you can try to drop it on top of us. It's more useful. If I say reflect on top, that's what I mean. It's your bubble. Or if you have wall of reflect, then you can also drop wall of reflect. Often I do ask for reflect on top. So if you're on book 3, then drop skill 3 right on top. Skill 1, skill 1 you can. It's easy to spam your skills, so try not to spam them. But if you need to go fast and you need a couple of stack of stab and you need protection, you can spam one a few times. That's okay, but just don't spam all your pages on skill 1. The thing that changed with the recent patch is that skill 5 used to give retaliation, but it doesn't anymore. And there's skill 2 that it does give, but the retaliation from skill 2, it's only self-applied. the protection also, it's only self-applied, it doesn't give to your party. So do not spam skill 2. You can use it once or twice. It's totally reasonable because you want some bags also, you want the retaliation on you, so that's fine. So just use it once or twice, but just don't spam skill 2, because I think it's pretty selfish if you just spam 2 and then you just wait for your party to kill the enemy and then you get the bag. That's not how it works. So you're there to support your party, so focus on giving your party what they need. Yeah, stand your ground also give you retaliation. The only thing that's different from what we used to teach for our Firebrand and now is that stand your ground. I used to say use it on when you're on book 2, but you can use stand your ground when you're on book 3 also. Just make sure you time it properly so that you also have it available when you open book 2. Because it does have 30-second CD, so just use it wisely. Check the timer. If you're on like one or two page of book 3 and you want to pop stand your ground, just wait a bit. Just just wait till you open book 2 actually, so that way you're going to be able to shuffle through that. Okay, now there's the important part here. I forgot to mention, when your mantras have 3 charges, do not spam all 3 unless it's an emergency. Also same for the book. Once you open a book, try to finish your pages. Unless it's an emergency, you can drop your book. You can swap for more heal book 2. That's okay. So unless it's an emergency, do not spam your skills. The better you rotate your skills, the better the sustain will be. So if it's a well-paced and sustained fight, then you have to be able to sustain through your skills properly. Spamming it will get you killed.
Alright everyone, let's get down.
And do not hit that 3rd charge unless it's an emergency, because like I said, it takes 2.5 seconds for it to charge, and sometimes inside a fight you don't have that 2.5 seconds. It's a lot of time, 2.5 seconds inside a fight. So just try not to spam it unless it's an emergency. Is that clear? Okay, so when you're on book 3, it's a boon book. So basically it just gives you all the boons you need, but it doesn't necessarily gives you heals or cleanse. So that's where your utility skills come in. So that's when your utility skills come in. So when you're on book 3, the skills you're going to be using are your healing mantra, your cleanse mantra, and your bow of truth. So that way, your books, you give all the boons your party needs, and with your utility skills and your healing skill, you give them heal they need. So that way you're balancing between your boons and cleanse and heals. It's very, very important that you balance these, otherwise you're not going to be able to properly sustain. That's very important what I just clicked on the squad chat. So just remember that with book 3, your healing mantra, your cleanse mantra, and your bow of truth for heals. Now, once you're done with book 3, you open book 2 right away. Also, the order is always book 3 and then book 2, except for there are like a couple of occasions which I will explain near the end. But the normal order is always book 3 first. And then once you're done with book 3, you have to open book 2. Once you open book 2, if you hit 5 and 4, you have to hit 5 before you hit 4, so you can get that extra heal out of it. It's a water field. It's actually a big sustainable water field. If we're just sustaining through some sieges on a structure, SNC, whatever it is, and I ask for small heals or I ask for a water field, book 2, skill 5 and 4, it's plenty enough to sustain, to heal your party mates and your surroundings. But if you need more fast insta heal, then you can use spam skill 1 a couple of times. That's not a problem. If it's an emergency, then just 5-4 spam 1 couple of times. 2 is cleanse, so use it also once in a while. If you see there's a lot of Condi going on, then use 2 cleanse, because now that they nerfed antitoxin runes, you guys must be able to cleanse and heal your party also, because scrappers aren't that effective as before. They're still good, it's just not that as good as before, so there's that little gap you need to fill in, and that's when you use your cleanse mantra also, cleanse skills on Book 2. For emergency heal, like I said, 1 you can spam 1 couple of times, it's not a problem. Skill 3 on Book 2, it's a waste of page. You don't get anything sustainable about it. The only thing it's useful, it's regeneration, but that's built up on 17 seconds. 17 seconds it's a very, very long time, so just forget about that. It's a waste of page. Rather than just clicking skill 3, just spam 1, you'll be better off with it. Yeah, I'll go over weapons after this. Okay, so Book 2 is your heal and cleanse book, and so the skills you're gonna be using to give your party stability when you're on Book 2 are your stand your ground and your elite mantra. So it's the same principle as Book 3, where you give boons and heals. This one also you give heals and boons. So that's why it's very important that you have the skills I told you set up, because it goes with the rotations. So that way you're all constantly giving healing and heals, cleanse, and boons for your party. Use your stand your ground when you need. Off CD sometimes if you need. It's not a problem. Just be careful not to use it inside a bubble, which I will explain in a bit. But yeah. Is there any questions so far? That's a no. Okay, that's good. I'm gonna assume everybody's gonna just ace it at the end, right? A+.
History is mine.
Oh yeah, there's a test, especially for you, Lovie. Pop quiz. Okay, so your books are only 3 and 2, Book 3 and Book 2. You do not touch Book 1. Book 1 is for DPS, but your role is not to DPS. Your role is to sustain as much as possible. So do not open Book 1, especially inside a fight. That can get yourself killed or your party killed because you're not giving the proper sustain. So the only time I will say you're safe to open Book 1 is if you're sure that the fight is secured. Like, you have to be 100% sure that we won the fight, it's secured, and you just want to help your teammates finish the couple of downs or just finish the enemy. Then that's fine. You can leave your Firebrand duty, but until you're sure that the fight is secured, you do not leave your sustain duty at all. Got it? Because I know a lot of people are always like, oh, it gives retaliation, might, and quickness. Yeah, but it will get you killed and your party too, because you're gonna be eating like a 50-man bomb, and if you're on Book 1, then you're just gonna melt. So do not touch Book 1 unless you're 100% sure that the fight is secured and it's ours. Let's see. You can use it on Tower Lords. I don't mind because that book is pretty much useless for us. You can use it on NPCs, Tower Lords. That's fine if you just want to put some DPS into it. Yeah, that Book 2.
Yeah. I was just looking it up. I was curious. Apparently, what's it called? Regen stacks in duration, and it's prioritized by healing power, but not modifiers. So if you put up regen, you're conflicting with the uptime of Scrapper regen, which is going to have a huge amount of modifier that I think still works on the regen healing, but doesn't go towards the actual boon prioritization.
So I think that the only useful thing about this skill is the cleanse you get from it. It does clear 3 condies right away, but otherwise don't depend on it for the regen at all. So,
Wait, sorry, I linked the wrong skill there, my bad.
Papers in triplicate.
But I was thinking of number 3. They both have regen, but I was specifically looking at the yeah, because I was just curious. Yeah, I know it. I never use that, but
yeah, just
I was looking it up. I saw the. I was just looking up the regen because I was curious.
yeah, it is, and on top of it, it's like almost 18 seconds of regen, and that's 4,000.
Yeah, that's.
It's like totally a waste of page. So just don't touch it, guys. It's just that what, because for Firebrands each page is precious, so you just don't want to use it on the wrong skill. That's it.
Yeah, I saw that 18 seconds, and I was like, oh shit, that's just you're killing your Scrapper heals.
No,
Vigor's,
like go ahead.
I was just gonna say Vigor's nice and all, but most classes already have enough access to it, and you already have classes like, I believe. Well, actually, I'm not sure. I think Rev gives good access to Vigor, if nothing else. But I might be thinking of another spec. Anyways, most classes will already have enough Vigor.
Yeah, I honestly the Vigor. I don't think it's ever been a problem. Especially we also have that energy sigil, so it's just not worth the page. Because other skills just gives more, sustain more. We just have to look at it in the terms of which is better. That's it. I think I covered book 1. Right, I did.
You also have that too. If you have double Firebrand parties, you can have second Firebrand to use that.
Ah, yeah, I should think you reminded me. Okay, sometimes we have. Sometimes we. And if you notice that you're in a 2 Firebrand party, you have to you have to talk to each other. Just one Firebrand start with book 3, and the other Firebrand have to start with book 2, just so that you can actually swap the skills better. So that's a lot of sustain. So you just if one goes book 3 and the other one goes book 2, it's a lot of sustain. So just make sure that sometimes if you end up in 2 Firebrand party, then yeah, you just talk to the other Firebrand and you decide who goes first. Sometimes I assign people, but sometimes I don't see it, and it's not always me who's tagged. If it's another commander, 2 Firebrand party, then talk to each other. It's very important that you decide who goes first on what book. Okay. So now that's the main rotation, because your book 2 and book 3 are rotating with your utility skills are your main skills. But when your books are on cooldown, then comes your weapon skills. There isn't any particular order for it, but I will tell you what they do each. I will tell you what they do before or during a fight, after a fight, stuff like that. So we're gonna start with staff. Staff 5 is a CC. So basically you can drop, especially on a bridge, tunnel, on a choke point, it's very good. If enemy doesn't have the stability on them, they're not gonna be able to cross. So if I ask, for example, we're camping SMC tunnel and I'm asking for CCL on the choke point, then you can actually drop your staff 5. It's very good. Or if you're running away, drop it behind you, hoping that the enemy doesn't have stab on them, so they won't be able to follow you as closely. Like 5 staff marks, you mean? Often people don't use staff marks at all. Number of targets, I'm pretty sure I saw 5 in Roll. Yeah. 10 in PvE apparently. So Guild Hall is part of the PvE area. So it is 10, but if you add the staff marks, it does add up like 555. So it's a lot of people we can try to block. If they don't have stab, they're not going to be able to. They're not going to be able to cross. Or if you see the enemy, they're pushing towards us, you can drop it in front of us, or in between. That also works. It's okay. Blast finish. Let me just check something. Okay, maybe there. Okay, so for skill 4, it's empower. Before we get into a fight, I ask for might or empower. That's your skill 4. So that's before the fight. But during a fight, we regroup often. During a fight, we empower. In that case, it gives you might and also heals. It's actually a good amount of heals. But just be careful not to use it out of nowhere, because it grounds you. It grounds you for like 2.5 seconds. You're not going to be able to move. And if you stand still, then you're just gonna get bombed. So be careful when you use it. But often I call for regroup so we can heal up. But if I don't call and then you see your party mates needing heals, you want to use it, you can use it. It's just be careful not to stand alone on one spot empowering. People die like that. I died like that. Also sometimes just click it by mistake and you're grounded, and if you want to get out of it, you have no choice but to swap weapon. So just be careful about it. Skill 3 alone, that's when we're on the move, mostly. When we're on the move, if we're stacked, we're going to move, drop it on top of us, so it's stacked with swiftness. If we're on the move, then always drop it in front of you. Always in front of you, not right on top of you, but in front of you, so that when people passes on it, they can get the swiftness. So hopefully we get less tail. But during a fight, it actually plays a different role. I will tell you that in a bit. Skill 2, it's a heal. It's not a lot, but it is a good amount of heal. You can drop it. It has a very good range also, so you can drop it wherever you need. Right on top of you, or on somebody who's not on tag and dying, you can drop it on top of them. Skill 2 is very nice. And hold on, just let me test this before I go over it. Alright, so what I wanted to go through is that inside of if you drop skill 3 and 2 right on top, it actually becomes a cleanse and heal instead. So if you're during a fight, if you're gonna use skill 2, always use it after it's skill 3. It's better, because just using skill 2 inside a fight alone, it's a bit wasted. So always drop 3 and then drop 2 on top. It will cleanse and heal. That's your combo finisher for your staff. Any questions for her so far? Questions? No. Staff used to be the loot stick, but they changed it. It's too bad. But yeah, before you can just tag everything with just spamming 1, but you don't do that anymore. I'm not teaching other combo fields just because, like, for example, if you wanna line of warding, then you have to swap. You have to open book out of rotation. That's why. But if you know other combo fields, it's very good. It's not a problem. Just be
Oh
careful.
yeah,
what
just
you use.
something to keep in mind.
Yeah. Yeah, if
Just
you have
know
other.
your fields.
Yeah, just know your stuff. So, like, if you have other combo fields, it's not a problem. Just type it out so everybody can know. But just be sure that it doesn't break your rotation flow. Okay, now I'm gonna go for Mace and Shield. Skill 5 on Shield. If you pop it once, it's reflect. If you pop it twice, it heals. So often in fight, popping it twice, it's better. So you and you can move with it, so it's very good. But if you pop it twice, it gives your party members heal, or the people around you gives you a certain amount of heals. So that's good for healing. Skill 4, it's actually very good. Also, it gives Aegis and protection, but you have to be facing your target. So if I wanna give it to money, then I have to be facing money. Otherwise, money is not gonna get it. So it will go in front of you. So you have to be facing your target. Yeah, if you can master the timing between the two pops on skill 5, that's actually good. You see that the charge bar, and then you just tap it again. So you have the block and the heal right after it. Okay, so skill 4, I said it. You have to be facing your target. Skill 3 is also Aegis and protection, but the good thing is that you can actually move around with it. So just go around your party. You can move around and provide them with Aegis and protection, so that's not a problem. Mace 3, it's very, very good. Yes, like if you're sustaining and you're out of your books, and you can actually Mace 3 also and try to sustain it with that go up shield on top. It's very good. Skill 2, it heals. It's not a lot. It's on pulse, and if you drop it, it stays on one spot. So the people who passes through it, or the people who are on top, they will get the heal. But it's try not to just stand still. If you're on the move, you have to move. So just drop it, and then if we're sometimes we do stand still for 2-3 seconds, so that's not a problem. So if you need to sustain through it, go for it. But if not, you can just drop it and move along. Just stay mobile, and the people who passes through it, they will get it. As skill 1, it's there's the chain. The third hit on the chain is a heal, but just don't wait for it. It's not worth the time waiting for it. So your skills, main skills, are going to be 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so that's for all your. Yeah, go ahead. Like, yeah. So like basically it's very good. So if you're trying to sustain it, and you're like trying to just block your party, then it's good. Once it hits, you're gonna get the. They just. If you get hit, you get the benefit of it. If you don't get hit, even better. Just put it that way. Okay, so those are the main skill rotations. Now I'm gonna go into other stuff. If you got any question, you want something to say, just go ahead. Router. Yeah, like on skill 3 Mace, yeah, especially that. Okay, so for your food, we drop food. We always drop ascended food now for guild runs. This is the one you should be getting. But in case that we don't drop food, I feed you guys well. I try to anyway. If I don't have ascended food, fancy stuff, I at least drop bread. But if you have a commander that doesn't drop you food, then you have to have this in your inventory. Just have just a couple of rice balls, just in case that you don't get the proper food. You don't get properly fed. So I suggest you just buy a couple of those and just keep it in your inventory. For your oil, this is the best one you can get for your healing, for the sustain. This you have to craft. You can buy it from TP, but crafting is actually pretty cheap. You get one doubloon, silver doubloon, I think, for 10 silver, and then you can make 5 out of it. So it's fairly cheap. So just craft it. I don't remember which crafting profession though. I think huntsman, if I remember, but not sure. You're gonna have huntsman. Okay. So if you have it, just go for it. It's very good. If you're like super poor, you have absolutely no gold, and then there are cheaper stuff you can get. You can get from your skirmish chest, but trust me, if you don't have gold for the food, just let me know. But if you want extra cheap food, you can get this one from the skirmish chest. The cookies, yes, I know it's tempting, but just go for the salad with mint garnish. Eat healthy, okay, guys? Health is good. Health is good. Or sometimes I drop bread, so just get some carbs, but try to eat salad. Not. So that's for the food and oil. Now, for boon rip, it's very important. The 2 scenarios that it can be risky that you're not able to respond properly is stealth, as we saw the past couple of days where I rage. Stealth and warrior bubble. So for warrior bubble, if you're caught inside a warrior bubble, you have to remember that inside a bubble every boon get ripped. So if you pop stand your ground, it's totally wasted. Do not pop stand your ground inside a bubble. As soon as you notice a bubble, dodge the hell out of it, get out, and once you're out, then you can pop stand your ground and then open book 3. But and if you see your teammates stuck inside a bubble, do not try to provide them with boons. They are not gonna get it. It's gonna get ripped. So the only way for you to keep them alive is book 2, and that's the only time you can actually start with book 2. It's if you need, it's an emergency, and in this case, just open book 2, 5-4, and then just spam 1, so they can get the heal, insta heal, so they don't die inside the bubble. So but you have to react fast, so that need really fast reflexes, fast reaction. So you have to pay attention. So that's the only time you can start with book 2. Same goes with the stealth. So just if they stealth and they're right on top of you for bomb, just get the hell out of it as fast as you notice. In this case, you can stand your ground fast, book 3, and then just try to rotate it so you keep people alive. And if you need super quick heal, then just draw both troops right on top. They will get the heal, and then they will also get the boon. Your enemy is boon rip, so just be careful. Be careful of bubbles. Be careful of scourge, wells, marks, especially wells. Just don't cross any wells. If you see a big red ring that looks very evil on the ground, don't walk across it. Go around it. Sometimes we do just YOLO, but that's because I know we're just gonna overpower the other team. So I'm just being YOLO. So in that case, it's okay. But if it's an even leveled fight, or if the other group is tougher, never cross any wells. Also dodge out of it. If you're caught inside bubble, inside a well bomb, inside a scourge bomb, whatever it is, if you're caught anywhere, just dodge out of it. Do not try to sustain. You're not supposed to try to tank any bomb. You have to avoid the bomb as much as you can. So just watch out for those. And wells are very, very easy to see. They're very visible on the ground, so just watch out.
It'll be fine.
Just don't pop stand your ground inside a bubble though. It's because stand your ground is very good for retaliation and stability. Just don't waste inside a bubble. It's wasted, so just don't use that. If you're caught inside a bubble, or if your teammates are caught inside a bubble and they're going down, you need to fast heal them. Then you can start with book 2. Yeah, book 2, or just drop bow of truth. Also, inside the bubble, they will get the heal from that. It's just that the boons, anything you want to provide as a boon, it's not gonna stick because it's gonna get ripped as fast as you fly. Yeah, bow of truth is actually very, very good skill, so just have it as default. So now for a couple of other things. So if you have a teammate down, you want to res, do not res. I know your role is to support, but not res. Because resing is very risky. So let somebody else from your party res. You support the person who res. Yeah. So if somebody else from your party is resing another member, then you support the one who's doing the resing. That's it. You do not go and res because you can die. you don't want to get caught and you don't want to die. And you can drop reflect on top. If you're already on book 3 and someone else is resing, you can drop the bubble on top of them, or just to block from the range. That's fine. It's not a problem. But your job is to support them. So just try not to res as much as you can. Unless if you already have Merciful Intervention, then yes. So if there's a time you end up in my party or if another commander's party, always instead of bow of truth have Merciful Intervention. Just because I YOLO a lot, so Bagel and Money are always chasing after me, but trying to keep me alive. So if you end up in my party at some point, just get Merciful Intervention. I do, yeah, that's a special case. Yep. Especially when I'm on my chrono and I'm trying to like portal something or veil, and then I'm just like standing inside a bomb. Yes, please get me up.
Papers in triplicate.
So Merciful Intervention in that case. But if you're not in the commander party, then you should have as default bow of truth. Alright, so I think this is gonna be my last note. Otherwise, we're gonna pass to question and stuff. So I'm gonna say this now. I've been saying it again and again. I'm looking at you, Lovie. Do not squirrel on a freaking Firebrand. Do not chase on a Firebrand. So, Lovie, he squirrels so much that I just accepted the fact that he's a squirrel. So it's just, but I don't want any more Firebrand squirreling. So just please don't scout don't get on siege, don't scroll, don't chase. Just don't be curious on what's on the other side of the wall when you don't want to know. Kill your curiosity. If you're a Firebrand, just kill your damn curiosity. So please, it's very important that people stay on tag, especially if you're a Firebrand, because if I give you a party, that means, okay, so how it works for me is that I see someone on Firebrand, I automatically, someone, especially a Firebrand from guild, I will automatically assume that you're on build, and then you're here to support. You're a support, and you're here to sustain your party. So if I give you a party, that means I already gave you some sort of responsibility, and I want people to just follow that. So if the Firebrand runs off, chases an enemy, and then we get an ink, that entire party is just gonna die because they don't get the heal and sustain. So just don't squirrel, please. Don't chase. Firebrands, stay on tag. If you want to scout, if you want to squirrel, if you want to do anything other than be on tag, just let me know. You guys know how I'm very open to people doing other stuff. So if you want to scout, you're more than welcome to scout. Just don't scout if I already gave you a party to support. Unless you're Lovie, of course, it's okay. Okay. I take your word for it. So a lot of your experienced Firebrands, so I know a lot of these stuff are just repeated, but I think it's good to go over it once in a while. A lot of you also know that I take very, very huge pride in my Firebrands, because our guild is like sustained combo group, sort of. So our sustain is the huge part of our squad usually. So that's why I take pride in my Firebrand. Usually our guild Firebrands are amazing. You guys are gonna be the top. You guys are already one of the top on TC in terms of Firebrand, trust me. But there is a way to always improve, so just keep practicing. Some people learn fast, some people learn takes time. That's fine. Just go at your own pace. If you have any question, you need help, just let us know. We're always here to help. But I just want people to try to improve and not be lazy, and just try to improve at least. That's it. That's the minimum I ask. That's it. So yes, it does take time. Firebrand, it's not super easy at start. If you're new, this will all sound super confusing for you. That's totally fine. So just take your time. And if you're struggling with something, then just let us know. Okay, so I'm actually done. That's pretty much what I wanted to say. If anybody else got any other insights, suggestions, questions, go ahead. We can go over it real quick. It's not a problem. You're welcome.
The only thing I can think of I like to do a lot is when your warrior runs in with bubble, I like to follow up with book 1 skill 3, the AoE pull. If you time that for a second or two after bubble hits them, you'll usually catch them without stab. So that's a perfect time to do that. It's something I've gotten in the habit of doing if I can use book 1.
Martini is a very experienced Firebrand, so if you're comfortable enough, and you know what you're doing, you're not gonna put your party at risk, then go for it. It's not a problem, as long as you know. No, it's not. It's like
don't drop your other books for book 1 by any means.
yeah. Just you have to know that your role is to sustain. That's your first role, especially if we're fighting. We fight guilds often, like hardcore or GVG guilds, and those are pretty much our challenges. Other guilds are pretty easy for us. So those guilds, they're tough to fight. So we can't. Don't risk. Don't take any risk. stay on your sustain duty until the fight is over. Whether we win or lose, it's okay. Just stay on your sustain duty as much as you can. If it's an easy guild we're fighting, if it's an easy pug group we're fighting, that's not a problem. Even with just a little bit risk, you can just take a little bit of risk. It's not a problem. But if we're fighting tougher groups, then you have to focus. It's very important that you focus and we don't take any risks.
Busy job.
What I try to mostly. Oof, I think I just massacred the sentence there. What I try to do usually is when we have our bubble, and because I'm on chrono, often when I command, I drop my gravity well inside. So that's the stuff you can do inside a well, inside a bubble. What you can do is you can just drop your CCs. And usually we try to bomb inside a bubble also, so you can do that. I'm more impressed by Sonnen, because Sonnen isn't even on a Firebrand. I'm here listening. You get an A+ for curiosity and wanting to learn. And also, it's if you can join other class trainings, please do so. It's good to know what you can do for your team, but it's also good to know what your team is giving to you. So that way, it will help you understand the class balances and all those stuff. So if you can join other class trainings, please do so. It will improve your gameplay. It's usually it's about an hour, I guess. Oh yeah, thanks Matt. Nice. Okay, so this is the other trick. So if you open option, that's F1. If you go into option, you can tick party health bar. Have that option ticked. That's very important because that way you can see your party members' health bar thicker than the rest of the squad. Don't check the squad health bar. Leave that unchecked, but check the party health bar. That's very important. It's gonna help you for a visual. The build we have for the guild is because we made the guild in a way to support TC as a server. Our build is also taken in consideration of our pugs because we do always run open because we don't want to. TC doesn't have many guilds, we don't have many commanders, so that's why we keep it open. And so our builds are made in a way that it's good as a guild group, but it also flows with the pugs and support them. So that's why we don't focus more on quickness or might and stuff like that. Our build is focused on sustaining. This is the maximum amount of sustain you can get. So it's the best you can get because Fight Guild they run on a specific combo. They run specific skills and builds, but they're completely different. The one you have right now, it's gonna help you run with any group. It's a very universal kind of sustain build. I think I'm losing my voice right now.
I just thought of something else to mention too. I notice a lot of beginner Firebrands kind of get stuck on using. They'll sit in one book too long trying to use all 8 pages, or they'll be stuck on one weapon. Try to remember to switch it around. You don't have to use all 8 pages from a book if you only need to get 2 or 3 skills out real fast, and try to remember to swap between staff and Mace Shield as well.
Yeah, feel free to like if you open a book, don't drop it unless it's an emergency. But if you need insta heals right away, then just drop your book 3 and open book 2. It's not a problem because you have to know that the most important part is that you survive. If you don't survive, then not gonna do anything. So if you need to drop a book, just use a couple of pages on one book, drop it, and then open the other one. It's not a problem. But stuff like that, once you get used to it, you will know that on your own if you need to drop a book or not.
Such might.
No, actually, actually, if you're, for example, if you just opened book 3, you just opened it and you still have 5-6 pages left, and I'm asking for empower, do not drop your book. In that case, do not drop your book, because those 6 pages are very important, and if you drop it, it's gonna go on 60 seconds cooldown. It's a very long time. So if you're already on a book and you still have more than 4 pages left, do not drop it just for empower. But if you're not on a book, then of course empower, just do the stuff. Yeah, okay, yeah. But if you have like 1 or 2 pages left and I'm asking for empower, then that's fine. You can drop it. But if you still have more than 4 pages on a book, do not drop it for empower or anything else, unless it's an emergency. Like I said, emergencies are always different, so you have to judge it for yourself. If I called for full sustain, that means it's full sustain. So you just have to drop the skills you need to be able to sustain through that. Any questions, guys? Now you can go rate me on Rate My Teacher. I hope I get a 5-star, hopefully. But yes, should I also type it? Yeah, actually, like, just don't sit on your on endurance if you don't need it. And actually, an example I can give is if we're on a tower gate, and then there's AC fires, but there isn't any big ink in sight, then you can just dodge, heal, stuff like that. Sorry, I didn't notice. I'm actually not reading the squad chat. I mean, I am just, you know, once in a while.
Give me energy.
Dodge on nodes, no. Selective hearing, it's selective reading. I have a lot of selective stuff. I'm also very selective on nodes. I only get the leather. Yeah. Book 3 on nodes. Nah, I only get the leather. Screw everything else. I don't think I need to say this, but sometimes if I ask if I'm not going to the nodes right away, that means we have to move. We're on a timer. Please don't go nodes. If we have time, I will go get it myself, because I also want my nodes. But if I'm skipping it, that's because I see something going on and I want to be there as soon as possible. So skip your nodes, please. Yeah. Please don't stop at sentry. I don't call people out. You guys know I never call people out, because I'm not here to make anybody's time miserable. I'm here to have fun, and I'm trying to make your time fun. So I will never call anybody out on bad performance, but I will call you out if I see you on freaking nodes or sentry. I will call you out. Just know that. Do you want to stand out? No, you don't. So just don't wait on sentry. Don't go for nodes if I'm not. And oh yeah, I will call you out if you're scrolling too. So that's the only times I will try to make your life miserable. Otherwise, don't worry. I know some people have their own pace, so just take your time. That's not a problem. This isn't hell. We're just here to have fun. Anybody else? Anything else? Thank you for all the insights. Those are all very valid and important. So, also don't forget to read through your skills. Just read through your skills and see what each of them offer. I gave you the rotation, but doesn't mean you have to press them blindly. You have to know what you're applying. to yourself and your party, so just read them through. How do I run so fast? I don't know. I don't have mount. I mean, I have mount, but I never use it unless I need to contest something. It's like, you know, I need to be there fast. Otherwise, lag running. Otherwise, I don't use mount.
Actually, I noticed.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, I noticed you're not in combat a lot. We'll all be put in combat because we're just like a second behind you, but you'll be just ahead of the damage and out of combat.
Lag. Rubber banding badly. It's my potato PC. It's you should all get a potato PC too. Then just lag the hell out. Commander's Edition. Yeah, like that time in SMC where I just didn't die in the middle of like 3 blobs. I'm basically invincible. Woo! Pastry, are you trying to get back to TC?
My fault, not my... Oh dear.
Okay. Have fun, just don't go for that mag. They're annoying as heck. Oh yeah, also relink. I think it's this Friday because it's usually the last Friday of the month. Yeah. So hopefully we get a good link with less arrogant people and less arrogant guild because I do want to kill some of the guild on BH. I hope we go against them. So yeah.